Since launch, Overwatch has been a game dominated by barriers. With the occasional exception of certain wrecking ball strategies, every main tank in the game utilizes barriers as their primary form of damage mitigation, and it's about time we've had something new to change things up. With a new hero on the horizon, is it possible that there'll be a main tank who uses something different? Could that something different be Symmetra's old shield generator? This is Master Ian Gamer, and let's get into it. As some of you may recall, I first brought up this new shield generator concept back in my Sanjay analysis video prior to the release of Ash. If you watch that, some of what I say here will sound familiar, however, I've since then modified the concept quite a bit into something that could actually be a really effective ability. Anyways, let's get into actually talking about it and how it would work. While shield generator was originally part of Symmetra's kit back when she was a support hero, if it were to be reintroduced on a new hero into the modern Overwatch environment with our current standards for each class, it would definitely fit best as a tanking mechanic. Wrecking Ball has something of a self-applied shield generator ability with his adaptive shield, which is his only form of damage mitigation outside of his high base health pool. However, a proper main tank shield generator would function more akin to the old Symmetra ultimate, where it's applied to all nearby teammates and functions as an extension of their base health pool rather than the temporary shields we see on Wrecking Ball, Doomfist, and Lucio's ult. That means it regenerates after not taking damage for 3 seconds and will remain with the hero until the shield generator is destroyed, deactivated, or they leave its area of effect. However, in order for this mechanic to work properly on a tank hero, there are a number of things which must be changed from its original incarnation. Unlike the stationary ultimate version Symmetra had, this new shield generator will be an activated ability that is bound to the tank hero instead of being a separate entity. This means they'd provide bonus shield health and an aura around themselves just as Brigitte's Rally provides armor, but also that the shields would be removed if the tank hero dies. Furthermore, the new version would require a line of sight with allies in order to provide shields, and would inevitably have a much smaller radius effect than the old ultimate. This would enforce strategic playstyles where the team needs to stay within close proximity of the shield gen hero in order to make use of the protection, much like how you need to stay behind an Orisa or Reinhardt's barrier in order to be safe with those. Now that I've covered the fundamental aspects, this is where we get into the really interesting bits of my shield gen concept. Back in my original Sanjay video, I proposed that the shield generator would run on a resource meter similar to Moira's healing and D.Va's defense matrix. When the shields are up, your resource meter depletes, and when down, it slowly recharges. But on top of that, when an enemy damages a hero under its protection, it will actually cause the resource meter to go up as well, meaning that the more damage your team takes, the longer it can stay up. As novel of an idea as this is, I ultimately decided that it would just be obnoxious to deal with. Players would be able to just toggle it like D.Va's defense matrix, and good players would almost certainly be able to get infinite shield duration out of it with good team coordination. The only counter would be to either go for quick picks as Widow when it's down, or brute force your way through a team with hundreds of bonus health. Neither sound very fun, which is why I've altered the concept a bit to better reflect the functionality of Reinhardt's barrier, which is ironically the exact opposite of my original idea. How it would work is that the shield generator can provide bonus shield health to nearby allies indefinitely, just like the old Symmetra ultimate. But every time that bonus health on an ally takes damage, the health of the shield generator ability drops. The shields on that individual will still recharge after going undamaged long enough, but the shield gen's health won't recharge unless the ability is deactivated, thus forcing the tank hero to remove the shields from all allies in order to recharge it. And of course, just like Reinhardt, the shield generator will break and deactivate automatically if it sustains too much damage. This kind of ability is perhaps one of the best ways of emulating the functionality of Reinhardt's barrier without actually using a barrier. When used effectively, it would negate most of the damage dealt within its area of effect, but still have a total damage limit to prevent the ability from being too impenetrable. Also like barriers, this bonus shield health wouldn't offer any ultimate charge for the enemy damaging it, nor your team's supports when healing it, in order to remove any concern which may stem from it being used for feeding. Heck, the shield health might not even be healable at all, and only replenishes on its own after having not taken damage for a short while. One aspect where it would differentiate from a barrier is that it'd be possible to kill a hero who's under its effects without actually breaking the shield shield generator. Depending on how much shield health it gives each ally and what the damage threshold is for breaking it, you'd be able to just focus down a single shielded opponent and kill them without having to worry about the total shield output of the generator. On top of that, it would be completely ineffective at blocking many forms of crowd control, such as hack and sweep dart, and wouldn't negate critical damage when an enemy headshots you. But to that extent, it also offers its own benefits. For example, in order to damage the shield generator, the enemy would have to actually hit one of your teammates, rather than being able to just lob damage at a massive rectangle, and barrier penetrating abilities like Fire Strike wouldn't bypass the shield gen's protection. Also, depending on the rest of the shield gen hero's kit, they would actively be able to shield their team while also shooting and using their other abilities, whereas Reinhardt has to just stand there in order to use his barrier. As for how to deal with the shield generator hero, it would have its fair share of countermeasures. Much like how you might flank a Reinhardt in order to damage him instead of his barrier, simply focusing the shield gen tank could be an effective way to deal with them. As an example, let's imagine that the new hero has 400 base HP, shield generator gives each ally hero 300 bonus shield health, and has a breaking threshold of 1000 accumulated damage across all shielded players. One effective method of removing the shields would be to focus and kill the tank hero specifically, as you'd only need to cut through 700 total health to kill them and subsequently deactivate the shield generator, whereas otherwise you'd have to deal a total of 1000 damage across various heroes in order to achieve the same result. But even in this situation, the shield gen tank is still doing their job, since the enemy team is focusing them instead of their allies, who then have space to operate. Overall, I see the shield generator as being an alternative tanking ability that has its own set of pros and cons, which would hopefully help it offset the current barrier dominance we've had in Overwatch since launch. Given that Blizzard already designed the internal programming for Symmetra's original shield generator, reintroducing it in a slightly modified form shouldn't be too big of a technical challenge. Therefore, I see it as being not just a likely new ability in the future, but an inevitable one. The important thing is that they just need to add more tank heroes with more unique playstyles and abilities, and a shield gen like the one I've proposed could be a very effective way to work towards that. I won't say my idea is perfect, and there's certainly a lot of small variables such as amount of shields provided, which would realistically require testing with an actual prototype hero in order to figure out. Also, I haven't come up with any solid concepts for the rest of the heroes kit, but that's definitely something I'm going to be working on in the future. Speaking of which, the shield generator is honestly only the tip of the iceberg for my new hero ability ideas. I was originally going to include it in a video with several other concepts, but I ended up with enough to say about it that I felt it necessary for it to have its own video. So if you're interested in hearing more ideas and concepts for future tank and support heroes, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned to my channel. Until then, thank you all so much for watching, and let me know your thoughts about shield generator returning as a new tank hero ability by commenting down below. Would you like to see what I suggested in game, or do you have your own ideas for how to make it even better? Either way, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and share it with a friend if you really liked it. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit up the bell to never miss any of my future Overwatch content. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time,
I'm getting the feeling they have a shield generator.